Can't believe you're doing that.
Oh, okay. Now I can play it. Oh, what is going on, you dead set legends? And welcome to the number one arm wrestling interactive podcast in the world. I'm your host, the Aussie Arm Wrestler, and look at the guests that I have got with me. I'll tell you what, doesn't really get much bigger than this. Probably, I think, since being injured, they've even got busier. I don't know how that happens, but we're going to dive into it. But I'm very, very excited because Monster Factory 4. That's right. This is the fourth time they've whipped out the Monster Factory for free, mind you, for free. We'll get that in a moment, but I'm very, very happy. Of course, we've got multi-time world champion, the quest for 100, which we'll get into in a moment. The man with the bionic arm. Of course, I'm talking about the monster, Michael Todd. How are you, mate?
I'm blessed, young man, blessed. Just recovering and getting better every day, so.
Oh, it is brilliant. And of course, join, if you don't know who the person next to Michael is, then you've been living under a rock. But recently, just won her first ever Maximum Bane caption game, and she got 3 points.
I did, 3 points.
The famous Rebecca Todd. How are you, Mrs. Monster?
Yeah, I'm okay. Just a little stressed. I'll be good on Sunday.
When it's all over. At least it's not your birthday this time. Last Monster Factory, you had to try and fit in your birthday party.
Oh, yeah, but that was fun.
Yeah, we had a good time.
That was a good time.
We'll just quickly get in there before we say hi to everyone in the chat. Michael, you want to give everyone that doesn't know already a bit of an update on that bionic bicep of yours?
Yeah, man. I mean, the most recent video we put up was my last visit to my doctor, which he said everything's going great. Arm looks good, healing up well. He just gave me the bad news that he didn't want me competing left-handed for another 6 weeks until I go back. And that screwed up some of my plans, right? So, honestly, the quest for 100 may actually – I don't know what's going to happen with it. I mean, it puts me out for another 6 weeks. It means I wouldn't be able to start back till like June 10th or something like that. So, and just competing with the left arm at it, I mean, it would be – I've got 19 first places already, 81 more to go. Just competing left-handed would be a tall order. So I don't know. I may continue to try to do it. I may wait until after the comeback and see what happens there. You know what I mean?
Well, a few things to touch on. We've got a poll out there, Michael. We said who should Michael's comeback match be against, and the 4 options were John Brezink, Alexi Vovoda, Devin Larratt, or Ryan Bowen. And I guess we can all guess who is winning that poll. 60%. And of course,
it's me.
Sorry?
She's my first match back, honestly.
Oh, first match.
She's the first grip. She's the first hand I'm going to grip, and I'm going to tell her not to take it easy on me. So we'll see how it goes. But my first official time on the table right-handed will be with her, just because that's to me. She understands angles, she understands the lanes. It won't put enough pressure on me to where I think I'll re-tear anything, but it'll let me find out where my hand and arm's at and stuff.
You think I won't put enough pressure? I'm working out.
I forgot. So who's winning 60%? Who's winning the poll?
Ryan.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, we gotta have like a delusional belt or something. You know what I mean? Like if that match happens, there's got to be a cool award.
There has to be the most delusional and the battle for the most hated arm wrestler on the planet. And
right, there you go. So if you got to win at something, right? So all those names are names that I would like to. I mean, Ryan is Ryan. You know, who knows, right? I've never even gripped Ryan. But as far as John and Alexi, some Plenkoff even, I have high expectations of where I believe the potential for my recovery is, because now that being said, it's only if I'm willing to do the work. Like, I'm going to have a healthy arm regardless. As long as I don't re-injure it, my arm's going to have a healthy arm. Whether or not I have a strong, healthy arm is whether or not I'm willing to do the work that it takes. Because I genuinely believe it'll be the hardest work I've ever had to do. And at this point in my career, do I want to do that much work? Yeah. You know, I believe I want to say yes right now. Sunday, I was ready to quit. Sunday, I was like, screw it, I'm done. And it really, we ate bad for 2 days, and I was just kind of not happy, felt bloated. I was like, yeah, screw this. I think I just want to be normal, because if you think about it, I've not lived a normal life in 3 decades. I've always watched what I ate. I've always been, conscious of my nutrition because I'm not genetically a lean person. I'm a person who has to eat right. Well, if I want to perform at a high level, I got to treat myself like an athlete. And there are times when I got heavy, but it was on purpose. I thought bigger was better. And that doesn't necessarily work for me. So I'm not your typical super heavyweight that just gets to eat whatever he wants and works out or take pancakes and work out. I'm not that guy. Like it doesn't translate to me. I'm just going to be a bigger, stronger, fat guy, So being normal has, it's very enticing to be able to just wake up and say, hey, what do you want to eat today, honey? I don't know, whatever you want to eat. I'm like, we don't ever have those conversations. They don't exist in our life. We wait so long until we get to eat. We're like, yes, we know exactly what to eat. And if you get my way, I might kill you. You know what I'm saying?
I must admit, like the photos, the rare photos. I'll get to the comments in a moment, guys. I got to say hi to everyone. The photos when you guys post about your cheat days, you almost look as happy as your wedding day. Like you guys like, oh my God. And yeah, I'll look at that giant pizza and think, geez, that's got a life expectancy of about 1.8 seconds. I reckon that's going to get gobbled up real quick. But that's fair enough. I mean, you're at the level you are because of the work you put in. Like you said, for decades, you haven't, you've been on a strict diet and everything. And that's why you're at the top of the game. And also on the top of your game, I just want to give a quick, massive congratulations. I mean, the social media stuff, skyrocketing. Like every time I go to your channel to check out a video, it's another 2,000, 3,000, 4,000 subscribers on YouTube alone. Like you're at 133, I think, 133,000.
We're right there at the 134 mark. You don't see the hundreds, we're right there at 134. So that's a blessing. I just hit 193 on Facebook the other day. So that was awesome. We just crossed 500,000 total across the 4 platforms, which was a milestone for us. We're blessed, dude. Like I said, we're blessed to get to live this life together and do the things that we do. But yeah, like I said, even all those things being considered, that enticingness of just being, and I say it all the time, and it comes across wrong, but in my life, it comes down to why be ordinary if you could be extraordinary, Yeah. And that's just how I've always lived my life. Why settle if I can accomplish more?
Correct.
That being said, sometimes just being ordinary and just kind of like fading away and just getting to live that normal.
We actually had this discussion today because I was like, I feel like if I have friends that just go to work and clock in and clock 8 and go home and their day off is their day off, period, and I haven't lived that life in a long, long time where my time was really just my own to do with as I pleased, right? Because
well, prior to this business or prior to this life, we did network marketing, which we had 3,000 people on our team that we were delegating and doing and helping achieve their goals. So you never had downtime. And I think that's what she's saying. But
well, when you work social media, as you know, so when you're building a brand, there's work all day long, every day. And you're either in research or you're in production or you're in editing or you're doing something, so that it's always more work.
You almost feel guilty for the time that you take away.
Yeah.
Yes. I get it. I get it. I'll sit on the couch and maybe, with my wife and might watch half an hour of a show. And I'm like, oh my God, you selfish man, all these people that are supporting you,
get out there and do something.
What you guys are. Yeah. They're like, they really want you to do this full time. Then get off the couch. And suddenly I'll be like, babe, can you pass me my phone? And it's, okay, what's the arm wrestling world up to? Let's brainstorm some ideas. Yeah, I totally get it.
Well, I mean, that's the difference. When you work a regular job and you have a regular life, your day off, it's guilt-free. It's your day off. You've earned it, right? In this particular industry and how we are constantly trying to become bigger, become better, but do everything, you feel guilty for that time that you take for yourself, And people have been trying to tell me, listen, don't worry about training. Don't worry about this. Take this time. I'm like, dude, this is my livelihood. Like, I can't take, because I've chosen this path. I've chosen this life. Regardless if I'm training or not, I still have to be out here doing this. And it's not that I don't enjoy it. I do, because I get to spend every day with her. Otherwise, she's delivering babies, and I'm a professional counter. 1, 2, you're doing great. 3, 4, awesome job. You know, I mean, that's So this is our life that we choose. So it's just, but we're, like I said, we are blessed beyond measure. You know what we have coming here, which is, to me, going to be insane. You know,
sexy is the word. Sexy, I think,
so,
is the word.
We're real excited about all that, you know, and so Monster Factory 4, obviously this weekend. Go ahead and say hi to everybody. Hop on there.
Dangerous Dan says there's no quit in Michael. Train hard, win easy. Sarah Latona's in the chat. The Bionic. Dan Plexman in the chat. He's a good guy. John the Savage Terrian, one of your athletes, is in the chat. We'll talk about him a little bit later. Drunk Eddie, Silky Wilkie, all in there. Sarah is shouting out saying, I'll be there to help. I got your back, Rebecca. What a lovely lady she is. John showing his appreciation for being able to be on a Monster Factory card. I think, you know, it's one of the top 5 promotions of the world. So I'm glad people like John are like, wow, what an honor. This is brilliant.
We're very happy to have him. I was very impressed with him when we met him at the first event of my Quest for 100 Bowling Green. Super strong young man. Is very exciting, very enthusiastic. I love how he pulls you, and so I'm excited to have him on the card. It's a blessing for us to have him here.
Yeah, beautiful. I can't wait to watch it. Phil Wood, UK, just landed in Dallas. Weather worse than the UK. Poor Phil, hey?
Yeah.
Bloody hell. Troy's up and about, says can't wait for Monster Factory 4. Thank you very much, Derek Smith. We tried to finish. We tried to start when you would finish. I tried to work on my times there, which is good. Silky Wilkie with a super chat. Thank you. It says, Michael, did you ever speak to a doctor about your blood flow restrictors? What are the benefits to training at a deficit? Should you want the blood to exchange more efficient, or is it just to get a pump?
Go ahead, man.
I'll talk about the science of that really quickly for Michael, because he's going to pass it on to me anyhow. So blood flow restriction, especially in Michael's case, in this specific case, is going to be very important, because what it allows you to do is to work the muscle, and it does get a pump, but you can use much less weight and actually work that muscle to build it. And the prevention of the venous flow from returning. Arterial flow continues to go. Venous flow stops. For some reason, it actually triggers your body to create its own natural growth hormone. So there's 2 things happening there. Michael's able to work out with much less weight. So he's able to get the workout and have the things happening with his muscle without the increased risk of injury. But he's also increasing his production of natural growth hormone, which will also help healing. So those 2 things together are going to be very important. And that his physical therapist actually started him with blood flow restriction that his doctor recommended him start with last Wednesday. So
she's actually going to be filming my next session Friday.
Yeah.
So that we can show everybody what's going on, what I'm doing. But yeah, the BFR, the doctor is like, yeah, go ahead and do it. Just because of the release of the natural growth hormones and the expediting of the healing that's going to occur through doing that.
I'm looking forward to that video. That'd be real cool.
It's actually a really good, I mean, my sessions right now are really good. He's pushing me hard.
Physical therapy is no like walk in the park. You know, I mean, a lot of people are like, what do you do? Just go in there and get massages or whatever. No, it's actually painful for Michael.
Well, I'm working range of motion that I haven't had in 15 years, right? So although the doctor got me there in the surgery on the table, my tendons and ligaments and everything else are not wanting to stretch out that far. Oh,
do it. Show them.
All right. So if you guys ever watched my match with Sergey Tokarev,
Michael has not been able to drink from a water bottle with his right hand as long as I've known him.
Well, I could. I just had to stretch.
Or you want to just drink this?
I had to stretch really hard for it.
Check it out. I don't think
this so you know, this was how far my arm used to come to my shoulder. Now, I did a video the other day when I was with the doctor, and Pradeep actually commented on it saying, well, his range of motion somewhat improved because I had to push it. Well, I don't have to push it, so this is how far it comes. This is where it was.
Geez, you really have to work it to get it there.
Oh, yeah. But, I mean, think about that.
But the thing,
I went from being 10 inches from my fist to my shoulder to the doctor pushed me last Friday to 6 3/4 inches.
But what Pradeep didn't get is that you couldn't even push it closer.
No, it wouldn't go past here. This is as far as my arm would go. You know?
And right now, the strength is not there to pull it, but the range of motion is there. But he was only able to start last Wednesday doing active work, range of motion. It had to be passive before then, which meant Michael had to be pushing it to protect the bicep tendon.
See, it wasn't the insertion. It wasn't the attachment. My bicep tendon shredded north to south because the bone in my elbow is like a coral reef sawing away at my tendon constantly. So every time I worked my bicep, it was doing damage to my tendon. I was unaware. I had no idea that the bone was actually just, cutting away, sawing away on that tendon. So that's why when I was in this position, I wasn't in a position where it should have torn. I was here and it just came loose because it was just being sawed north to south, right? So once he cleared all that up, he resutured it, retubularized it, then reattached it. He's like, there's 3 ways to fix your elbow, and we're going to do all 3. So I've got 3 points of fixation where my new tendons reattach. He said your bones will splinter apart before your tendon comes back out.
But the Schmo actually said that there's 44% more range of motion according to his calculation. You can actually do it on the real percentages of
it's 33% technically because I was at 10 inches and I'm 6 3/4, so that's 6.7.
I'm not talking about the inches. I'm talking about
I understand. So yeah,
degrees. The degree of flexion that Michael had prior to becoming injured and the surgery was actually a little bit less than 95%. And now it's at...
He pushed me to 115 yesterday.
115%. So he's gotten another, I'm not percent, but degrees. He's gotten another 20 degrees of flexion, which...
We got to get back to the table then.
20
extra 20 degrees of flexion. That means an extra 20 degrees of pinning fools. I need it.
Well, what that means is he can get closer to his arm now. He's been starting matches out here, in no man's land.
The biggest thing is, obviously, when you're in this position, it's gonna be harder to stay tight, right? You're gonna open up a lot sooner. Well, if I can get my fist starting from here, it's gonna be way harder to open me up to 90 or even further, right? Because I can get in here tight, I can shoulder, I can top row, I can do all these things from a much tighter position than what I've been able to do. Which to me is, keeps me very optimistic. And so the bicep having that extra 3 1/4 inches range of motion currently, he thinks he can get me another 2. He thinks he'll give me even my left, which you see how fast my left shoulder press is. Yeah. If my right gets to that same range of motion, my right hand and wrist are way stronger than my left. You know what I'm saying? So I find it very difficult to think that people would be able to stop my right hand shoulder press as effectively as you could my left, and there's still very few people that stop my left. You know what I mean? So in my opinion, that one lane will be much more available to me. Right now, it's only available to me to a shorter lever. A longer lever when I hit them because I'm so far, prior to the surgery, I was so far away from my starting point, I would hit into their wedge because they could make their move so much quicker and I'd be blocked here. A shorter lever like Todd Hutchins, I could get right on top of, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Anyone same size lever as me or longer, I'm hitting underneath them. I don't necessarily think that would be the case moving forward because my access to supination, which is significant now, and the fact that I have that lane. Now, the people think that's the only lane I'm going to have available. I personally think my posting top row is going to be way more accessible because I'll be able to set up my knuckle underneath my chin versus starting out here.
Yeah.
If I still have that same riser and pronation, or even better than I did previously, because I'm now able to work those extra 3.5 inches of range of motion into my bicep muscle, so the top end of my bicep actually can get worked now, where for the last 15 years it hasn't because I had to stop here. I think that will be an extra increase in strength. Now, all this is speculative. Like I said, I could quit tomorrow and say, screw it. You know what I'm saying? But if I'm willing to put in the work, that's what it comes down to. I'm going to have a healthy arm regardless. It's, do I want it bad enough? Do I want to go through the work? Do I want to climb back? Do I want to listen to all the hate and people saying it's not possible?
They listen to those idiots.
Well, I mean, that's the thing is, it is what it is. I don't have anything else to prove. If I choose not to, I've had a very good career. I don't have to do anything else. It comes down to, am I okay with that? Like, am I okay with where, if it ends here, am I okay with that being the end of my story? And currently, I am not okay with that being.
Yeah, I was about to say, even just saying that out loud, you can just hear, because you're like, anytime like I do a show and people try and dunk on you, I'm just like, no, guys, he's passionate. And he's one of the most competitive arm wrestlers out there. So I think you should just be like really just appreciating. Like, he's not the missionary sex of arm wrestling. Michael's crazy, and he'll fight for what he believes in. And you know, I've said it, and this is just me, and you don't have to respond, but I think initially one of the original reasons East versus West was created was to eliminate the King's move. That was one of my things. So with you going in there, you know, we won't go into all your matches, but I feel that you've been put at a disadvantage at times. So, but then you fight for it because this is your career and livelihood, and people might see it as whinging, but I'm like, no, fire up. Like, absolutely fire up. Two things are going to happen. They're going to say, no, Michael, you're wrong. Or, yes, you are. We've made a mistake. Let's do the redo, or, you know, reset that round, or it's not actually a foul. So I'm with you. Keep being Michael. Dan Plexman in the chat says, Rebecca, can you please say shout out, go out, and about?
Why?
I feel like you do not need to, sweetheart.
Why?
Well, everyone kept calling you an honorary Canadian.
On all three of them.
I like the way you say it, Jake.
Shout out, go out, and about.
All that I know is that growing up, one of my best friends I spent a lot of time with was from Iowa. And so I don't know if she is responsible for my weirdness when I speak or what, you know, I don't know, but it's been something that my family even has made fun of me my entire life. So,
well, I mean, to this date, she still has not been to Canada. You know what I'm saying?
I've never been to Canada.
She still has not been to Canada.
Maybe I have. Maybe I'm in witness protection and you just don't know it.
Well, that explains a lot.
Witness protection, but your career's on social media.
Yeah, right. Well, I changed my face. I used to be tall and blonde.
Quick shout out to Steve Wilkie. He's given 50 Aussie Arm Wrestler memberships. If you want a membership, you need to click on that and say allow gifts, and then you'll be able to get yourself a free membership. Thank you very much, Silky
Awesome.
Wilkie, legend. So 4 have been given away. The problem is everyone, I'm so grateful people are buying 50, 20 every show, but I think just about every single person in the chat's a member now. So yeah, so he's bought 50, guys. So if you click on the membership sign, then bang, you can get yourself, say, allow gifts to this channel, and you can get yourself one of those 50. 7 have been given away already, as everyone's in the chat being awesome. Thank you so much, Silky Wilkie. This is the greatest person in the chat says, what do you think about Devon only training his core muscles he needs for his way of pulling? Why wouldn't you train triceps as a pro arm wrestler if good results would only come in at 30 minutes a week? What do you think? I don't know.
Doing all right. So, I mean, whatever works for him, you know what I mean?
Yeah. So thank you very much for your super chat. But yeah, I think I'm the same as you. I don't know. I think when you're at that tier, yourself, Michael, John, Devon, Dennis, whatever, I think you guys are, you know, I think what you guys are doing is working. You know, being in the top 10, top 20 for 30 years. Yeah. And always, thank you very much, greatest person in the chat. Not so much that comment, but I'll never I'll never forget the time.
Thanks for everything. Not so much that, but thanks for everything.
No. I mean, thank you very much for the super chat. I mean, I'm not having a crack at the greatest person in the chat. When comments similar to that come past, I always have a laugh when you had your match with Gennady and you guys went live straight afterwards. East versus West 2, I think it was. And I'll never stop laughing because you're just there and you're like, damn, it was a good match. And this is what I did wrong. And, I'm ready. I want to bounce back. And just like everyone telling you, hey, you should have won. And I was like, oh, my God. I couldn't stop laughing. I was just like, where? And it'd be like, Simon says Bunny Rabbit 427. Oh, Michael, you should have gone inside with the press. And I was like, dude, just like, where are your credentials? So, just if you just shut up for a minute and listen, he's telling you what he should have done. It was quite hilarious.
I think you're partially right there, Jake. But also, I have to say that I think it's I don't know if honor is the right word, but we really appreciate the support. And when,
of course,
I think people are so invested in the victory that they want you to have it so bad that they're
tied into it. Hey, they're like, why didn't you do this?
Yeah, I'm like, hey guys, I tried everything. You know what I'm saying? This is
hey, I'm probably doing the same thing in the corner myself.
I'm sure
like Michael, do this. And he's like, you don't know anything about arm wrestling, Rebecca. I'm like, well, do it anyway.
Because people are invested. It's no different than someone watching here in the United States, watching their football team or something, or watching their baseball team, and you shouldn't have passed. You should have ran. Well, I mean, who knows? Right? I mean, it's just at the end of the day, dude. And just like my training, I appreciate other people's insight on what I should do. But I've known my body for a very long time, and I know what tools I have to work with. Now, I have a lot more tools to work with. So will my training change? Some. But really, it goes back to what has won me 23 world titles. You know what I'm saying? Like, It's just that now I have the access to actually do the things that I need to do to get everything that I need to have on the table, right? I mean, I was missing quite a few things.
Well, I'm just going to jump in here and tell you that every time I hear Michael say, hey, listen, I know how to train. I know what to do. I know what works for me. The only times, and I've been with you like 11 years now, something like that.
It's been a minute.
The only time I see him really screw up, is when he has asked everybody and their brother what he needs to do with his nutrition and what he needs to do with his training. When he invites all of that different advice in, it's like too many cooks in the kitchen, right? And it screws him up. The strongest I've seen him, the best I've seen him do is when he does what he does. Like when he was training for the 2017 WAL finals. He was doing his rope pulling. He was wearing his BFRs. He was doing his training, and it worked. And then when he went on to win the finals again in 2019, he was doing what worked for him. When he would screw up after that, it's because he starts embodying everybody's advice. He's on the phone. Hey, Ryan Bowen. What is it you're doing right now with your training and your exercise? Let me just tell you,
I drink all the Ryan Kool-Aid though.
He does.
I think he's going to win every match.
And he's like, and next thing you know, I see him in the gym going, Ryan says he's doing this. I'm like, what has Ryan?
I think she's.
Love you, Ryan. But what has Ryan done that you want, Michael? Huh?
Well.
So he changes his nutrition and his training according. It's that thing.
And it's not always. I mean, sometimes Devin gave me bad advice. He told me, he's like, bad advice. You don't need to get easy. Don't train heavy. Just get healthy. Well, I think I should have trained heavy for Gennady, But I trained light, and I was big. I was strong.
He didn't.
I just wasn't strong in the gym, so I didn't have that confidence,
Bad advice.
He told me what he would have done.
He told you what worked for him.
Yeah. So
why didn't you stick to what worked for you?
And that's really what it comes down to. We all have our own. John Brazing doesn't even lift weights. So clearly, that's not the approach I'm going to take. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, you should do what John did. Well, it worked for John, didn't work for me. Same thing with what Devin does, works for Devin, doesn't work for me. Why Devin doesn't train triceps, he just trains, works for him. Why Gennady and Levon and other guys are lifting everything in the gym, works for them. You know, I mean, each one of us have enough experience with us individually and what it is that we do and what it is that we have done to know what works best for us. I am excited about right now. This is one thing that's kept me motivated through a time where I have every right to be discouraged, you know, and to be depressed and to whatever, right? I mean, it's a pretty big injury. Yeah. What is exciting to me is the fact that I know that when I start back, I have the opportunity to be stronger every week for a long time. For a long time, my results came very slow. Getting gains were very hard. Like each prep for my next match, when she was talking about 17, 18, 19, I would come in 5 or 10 pounds stronger on my circuits than I was for the previous title defense or whatever. Now, and that would be training for months to just be 5 or 10 pounds stronger on a lift, right? Now I get to be stronger every week. So every week, when I get released to start training, every week will be stronger and better than I was the week before. Now, what is cool about that is eventually you lose track the fact that you're stronger every week or that you're surpassing your previous PRs because you're just used to getting stronger every week. And it happened to me. My left arm blew apart 13 years ago. I started back, just for bench as an example, I started back bench pressing the bar. A few weeks after my elbow came apart, 45 pounds, 30 reps, incline, flat, decline. Then it was like 75 pounds. It was 95 pounds. It was like 115, 135, 155, going up every week. And then at 6 months, I think I was doing 315 for 30 on incline, 315 for 30 on flat, 315 for 30 on decline. Biggest lifts I'd ever done. But it's because I increased every week. You know what I mean? And obviously, when I first started, that wasn't really my true strength. My strength was still way up there. But because I gradually increased it, my body just kept adapting every week. I believe I have a similar experience now. Am I 13 years older? Yes. Do I turn 50 in 6.5 weeks? Absolutely. But I do have Vitacell Biologics.
Did you say 60?
I said 50 in 6.5 weeks. You know,
like,
so and that makes sense. The doctor just released me to get stem cells. And the reason he didn't want me to get stem cells prior is because my body was used to having all that bone that he took out. And if I'd have taken stem cells too early, it made it encourage my body to regrow the bone. So he re-x-rayed it. The bone hasn't started growing back. Everything's good. He's like, you're good to go ahead and get stem cells. So I just talked to Vitacell right before this call. I should be going down next week. Most likely we're both going to be getting stem cells. So I'm excited about that because I know what they've done for me in the past. I know what they can help with her because she's got some knee pain. She probably needed surgery. She didn't get it done. So just a few things to tweak Mrs. Monster, you know. And so I'm excited, man. I mean, it's just, we're blessed, dude. Like I said, we're blessed.
We're building back to the comeback, and I cannot wait. I cannot wait. We'll just quickly hit some of the chats, and then we'll start talking about Monster Factory, which I am pumped for. The greatest person in the chat says, sure, he's doing fantastic. I just mean you would have another weapon in your arsenal. That's all. I know, mate. You're one of the good ones. That's for sure. We've got fans want you to win. Now, I can't remember if this is the real Artem or the fake one, because one of them calls themselves Top Troll King. So if this is Artem, then he's saying that you should hire Artem as a coach. Primal Source Gaming says, hey, Jake, Monster, Rebecca, everyone is going to be in trouble when Monster Michael Todd gets back in tip-top shape. Ready, bang. Robert Gould in the chat. He is a legend.
Do you see him, Rob?
Yep.
Yeah, I love Robert Gould. Retro Rice the Gaming with the super chat. He says, Monster Michael Todd, you're looking big. What are you tipping the scales at? And have you ever thought about a career as a pro wrestler?
That would be fun.
Man, as soon as they pay me enough money to be a pro wrestler, I am now a pro wrestler.
It's so much fun. There's a short on my channel. Who does a better clothesline? And I've got mine and yours next to each other when I used to be a pro wrestler.
Well, I'm just saying that guy didn't sell it super great. My clothesline was epic. He just kind of took the bump too early. I mean, I don't know. I could have done. Mine was way better. So what am I weighing? So he cheated Saturday and Sunday, and I was 263 Monday morning. Like I said previously in this video, I was not feeling super optimistic Sunday. I was ready to quit. Ended up doing all shakes on Monday. Drank my water, did my sauna, did the whole thing. And I'm just telling you this so I can tell you my morning weight this morning. Did all shakes again on Tuesday. Had a chef salad Tuesday night. Got up to 20 minutes of cardio, 30 minutes of cardio, 20 minutes of sauna. 263 Monday morning. 247.2 this morning.
Oh, just in one day.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's 48 hours, so 15.8 pounds drop. But that's just how much water I gain when I cheat. Like, I swell a lot. Like, my body doesn't necessarily look like it. Like, I still have abs and everything else. But, man, I gain weight bad. Like, I'm telling you, my body wants to be bigger.
I actually videoed him eating all day long, and it's gonna be pretty good because it's basically how do you gain 15 pounds in a day video. You're just not gonna believe all the food this.
And the thing is, it comes on super easy for me. And like I said, I had to, I basically had to go one meal in 2 days and all shakes and drink my water and sauna and everything to get it back off. But it comes on in one day. Like, and that wasn't even one day of me already being depleted. That was just a normal day. Like, I was already pretty heavy, when I started, so it was, yeah. Like I said, it's easy for me to be bigger, but it's not quality. It's just my body is hay hauling country boy, 300-pound redneck.
Yeah, I think your metabolism's like mine. Like, my wife will eat a burger and chips, and I just look at it and I'm like, oh, that'd be nice. And then suddenly my body goes, and I put on the weight for my wife eating. I got one of those, metabolisms. Yeah. I can't. Yeah, I couldn't lose it to save myself. But everyone's comparing about your age, Michael. John Terrian, I'll be 50 in 8,395 days.
That's actually hilarious. You know what I'm saying?
That's a good one. Well played. Well played, John. Well played. So, Monster Factory this weekend. By the time I'm 50, I hope we're flying cars. So, Monster Factories this weekend. We've got mega super matches. Massive shout out to Ron Barth and Pavlo Dervadenyev for taking the role as the main event when things really didn't
fall apart. First it was Richard, and then it was me. Everything just went out the window quick, and we went from being this amazing card. Richard's comeback was going to be epic, and then
to not having a main event.
To now, some people are saying this is one of the best cards they've seen, and we do have a very good card. We have a very good, and what I say by very good card, we have quality athletes, but we have what could really be some hella matches. You know what I mean?
I'm very excited about it. There's not a match on there that I think is just an automatic gimme. A lot of people are giving Artem, bunch of crap. Giving him zero chance. But Artem wanted that match, right?
No, he actually told me that Pablo had asked him for the match.
Yeah, well,
I think that's how I was approached.
Don't believe Artem. Artem's a liar.
When we called Pablo, and let me tell you something about Pablo. He is the easiest person to talk to get along with. I mean, you offer him a match and he's like, okay, sure. Michael called him. He's like, hey, listen, so everything's falling apart. Will you arm wrestle Corey West?
Well, he was supposed to pull me. He goes, well, listen, if I was going to arm wrestle you, of course I'll arm wrestle Corey.
That's what he said. Of course I will.
I get you.
I'll do that, and so we had that match set for a day, and then Corey found out that
on that same day, his girlfriend actually was like, hey, what's that day? I said the 29th. He goes, Corey, you have that big race that day. He goes, oh, shit. Yeah, I can't do that day.
He's supposed to be racing his car that day. So pulled him out. I mean, we were in limbo for a few days on selecting the main card and a few other matches on the card. And I think the way that it has shaken out, very excited about it.
Oh, yeah, it should be
really. Your undercard is kick-ass. Your undercard, not even your main card. I mean, you've got Jody Williams and Russ Schrader. I'm looking forward to that. John Terrian's going to pull both days. They're doing the right arm the day before, and then the left arm in the undercard.
Well, the left arm's a ranking match on the undercard. That's why you put the left arm as more of a priority match, right? But yeah, Stephen Loxton's no joke. That's a bad kid. So
yeah, I found that out.
Higher than I can't remember who's ranked higher, but that's a good match.
Yeah, Yeah, I can't wait for that one. I mean, this is just the undercard here. I hope Bob Brown loses. He's undefeated, and I didn't like the way he did my boy Kyle Howarth. So, Bob Brown, if you're watching, I kind of hope before the match you step on a piece of Lego with bare feet, because I didn't like the way you did my boy. So, yeah, I hope you lose, Bob. No, Bob. Bob's awesome.
Bob is awesome. And
I love watching Bob arm wrestle.
Like an animal here. He does very well in this environment. You know, it's
like his home ground. It's his home ground advantage.
Well, I told you that. I think I've told you this, and I've said this on a couple things. Two of the highlights of the Monster Factory events that we've had for me were both John Brzenk comments. John's like, "This is one of the best events I've ever been to." John's been doing this for 40 years. That's a huge compliment. Yeah. The second thing that John Brzenk said is he looked around my gym and he goes, "Seeing this gym makes me regret giving away all my trophies."
There you go.
So, I mean, dude, that's John Brzenk. You know, John Brzenk's like, "Man, this looks awesome." Because they have meaning to me. People give me shit about the Quest for 100 or the trophies or whatever. Listen, guys, it's never been done before. No one's ever done it. So don't act like it's some easy shit to do, because no one's ever accomplished it. You know what I'm saying? And prior to this format of arm wrestling we have now, that's what we all did. We all did tournaments, and no one ever won first places, right? So, but
you can't win. It's so funny because everyone's like, Monster Michael Todd just needs to retire, give up. He's not top 10 anymore. And I'm like before you went on the quest and before you told me about the quest, I was like, dude, like, guys, when these people, okay, they look who they're losing to. And if they went back, they would just beat everyone. Like if they went back and pulled at your local tournament, they'd still beat everyone. And then maybe like 6 months later, you're like, "Well, I'm on this quest for 100." I'm like, "Yeah, you just got to go back and whoop everyone." Like, but you should just give up and can't win anymore. Okay, well, I'm just going to go around the country and beat everyone. He's just collecting trophies. It's like, my man can't win.
Well, the thing is, and that, you know, but like I said, when I look around this gym, it's not the first places. Yes, the national titles and the victories over select people mean a lot. Those awards mean a lot. But it's the second and third place finishers or fifth place plaque that I still have. That's the shit that motivates me when I'm out here training. You know, that's the stuff, because I know what it felt like to not stand on top of that podium. And I don't want to feel that way again. So I'm out here busting my ass, you know. But you can look around and pick pretty much any award, and I'll tell you who I beat, what it was like, what the weather's like, what the day, you know what I'm saying? Like, I know pretty much everything that's in this gym, and that's 33 years of my life. Am I wrong for wanting to have memories of that? To me, you can give me as much cash as you want. Unless it's life-changing for me, give me a medal. Throw something in there with me so I can remember that shit. Because I'm going to spend the money. I don't even remember what to spend it on. But give me something to remember that experience. You know what I mean? So for me, it's always been that way. It's always been that way.
When I finally make it to a Monster Factory, set up a table tennis table, I will get a medal made up, and I will allow you to present it to me when I whoop you. Because
that's so fun. Rebecca didn't see me lose once in ping pong. Now, I did get my ass throttled that day, but I did play against a guy who trains with the Kuwaiti Olympic team. That's the guy she saw beat me. You know what I'm saying? Other than that, Rebecca's never seen me lose in ping pong. You know, not the whole evening. I've lost a couple of matches, but I didn't lose that. I didn't lose the overall.
Gosh, what I've seen him do is make it so terrible.
We have not been invited back to our neighbor's New Year's party.
On people because they weren't playing by the rules.
Listen,
at a New Year's Eve party, you know? And he took their $10 Subway card.
That was my card.
And we've never been invited back.
We've seen cards there every year, and we're never invited back. We passed them on the way to our house, and we're like, "Damn, they're having that party again. We didn't get an invite."
They just wanted to play some ping pong, and
listen,
Michael's like,
"They were serving out of their hand. You know, you have to throw that ball in the air before you strike it. You can't serve it out of your hand and make this a legit competition."
Listen, there is a reason that myself nor anyone in our family will even play a card game with this man. He is way too competitive.
Get to the Monster Factory ASAP. We will have a list of 10 games, Michael, and you want to meet your match in competitiveness. I will scrabble the shit out of you. I will ping pong you through the head. I will do it. I mean, of course, anything strength based, I think I'll get an easy second place.
So that's what
it is not
when you said that earlier, I almost corrected you because you said, no, guys, he's just one of the most competitive arm wrestlers out there. I'm one of the most competitive human beings. Like, I don't do shit for fun. Like, we went bowling for her birthday party. I bowled on the same lane with 4 other people, 2 games. I said, screw this shit, got my own lane, bowled a 201. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, and 201's not great, but I hadn't thrown a bowling ball in 10 years, and it was a house ball, right? But I can't sit there and wait. I'm like, this is not fun for me. Give me my own lane.
I was playing phase 10 with him and a couple of friends, and I ended up just throwing my cards out like this because he made it horrible.
Well, I knew what card she had. I'm like, why are you not playing this card?
How do you know what card I have?
Well, I've tracked everything.
You count cards?
I know what's happening. You know what I'm saying? I'm watching the game.
He's an idiot savant. Like we need to go to Las Vegas.
We'll get through a bit of the chat, and then we'll go back to the Monster Factory card. Michael, you're a legend of the sport, whether people like it or not. Ongabayev versus Irakli. Who wins? I have Ongabayev 3-1. Exciting match. Thank you, Engen's forehead taco.
I think the match could go either way. For Irakli to win, he did great against John. He showed he had multiple, options. He went to that bent wrist press. It worked for him. In my opinion, for Irakli to win, he's going to have to do it quickly, and he's going to have to do it dominatingly. If he does not do that, I think Ongabayev is going to outlast him and beat him. That's just my opinion. Irakli may be the stronger guy. I don't know. He looks crazy. But Ongabayev, I think, has a more complete arsenal. So, in my opinion, I would say Ongabayev, but I would not be the least bit surprised if Irakli came out on top,
Beautiful, beautiful. Jake asked Mike if you have a membership, if you have to get the pay-per-view, or do I have to buy it? Guys, free. Monster Factory is free. It is free. The only thing that I have been asking people to do, guys, is after they watch Monster Factory, is write down every single sponsor's name and go and thank them on their social media. That's free as well.
There's one.
Okay, so I'm going to be honest with you. This event would not be happening if it wasn't for Vitacell Biologics.
Vitacell Biologics has got the whole event. So.
You know what else I've got going on. So I did not try to go out and get any other sponsors for this event. Vitacell are the reason. Vitacell and our VIPs are how we're paying the athletes.
What is it?
Biologics.
Biologics. I'm writing that down, and I'll go thank them.
Yeah, that's been taking care of everybody. They got to take care of me.
Tell them Michael sent you.
Tell them Michael sent you. But yeah, man, it's this. I told what we have coming, and that is a priority for me because what it's going to do for us and the sport of arm wrestling and our platform and our brand and everything else. I believe it'll be the biggest explosion we've experienced in a very long time, and I think it's going to be something huge for North American arm wrestling. I genuinely believe that. So that's all my focus was going. So this was not an event. We fund this thing through the sponsors. We give it to the community for free. We appreciate all the super chats. That's amazing. But our idea was to, especially from a sponsor perspective, if I put it under the umbrella of a pay-per-view, only the people who purchase are going to get to see it and see the sponsors. This way, when you sponsor a Monster Factory event, we're putting it out to everybody. Anyone who watches it, and like I said, Monster Factory 2, when John Brezant pulled Corey and I pulled Todd Hutchings, at that point was the most watched arm wrestling match since COVID. Most watched arm wrestling event in 24 hours, 144,000 real-time views, 77,000 unique IP addresses. I mean, and to me, that's huge. That was a huge event. Yeah. Great things. Right. And I think we're just going to be bigger and better. Moving forward, I think what we have coming is gonna take everything up a notch or two. You know what I mean?
It's exciting on one hand. The other hand, it scares me a bit.
Well, of course it's scary because it's way out of your comfort zone. What I'm doing right now is way out of pretty much anyone's comfort zone. But will it be worth it? Absolutely. Will the arm wrestling community, in my opinion, see a lot of growth from it? Absolutely.
And the thing is we want all of the arm wrestling community to grow. We want all promoters to grow because that's how arm wrestling is going to grow. We are too small to be contained into single promotions, right? Yes. So anytime anybody is putting on any tournament that is, live or, whatever feed, we all need to support it in the best way that we can and share it and have our families watching it, just because we gotta, we have this chance to really kick things off. COVID kind of gave us a nice, swift kick.
A reset. Yeah, it was like a reset and a relaunch. We got yeah.
And so we just need to continue riding that wave. And so we've already purchased East versus West. We've already purchased King of the Table, and we're members of different channels just so that we can do our best to support, other promotions as well.
Absolutely.
That's how we all get somewhere, right?
Hopefully. And I couldn't agree with you more.
By the way, if you do, we're totally fine. Also, because we are free, we're fine with live commentary. I've heard from so many different people that talk about, well, it's like being in a watch party, because if you can split your screen, or you can watch it on one device and be on your live commentary on another device, and you're in there with your buddies and you guys are talking about the matches, it's a lot of fun. And I see that, and I feel the community effect that it has. So we definitely.
Yeah, well, that was when I very first did it, that was my initial reason. One, to practice my craft.
Mm-hmm.
Two, because I think the first time I ever did live commentary, I don't even think I was monetized. Two, because it's, your events at 8 a.m. my time, which I thank you. But usually they're 2 a.m., 3 a.m. for me. Now, I'm not having a party with my buddies, and not many people in Australia like arm wrestling. So, I was like, well, cool. I'm going to have a party with all of these guys. Come and have a chat, talk about it. But the main thing is always to get the event first, to watch the event, buy the pay-per-view, or, go over and watch it. If you donate to the Monster Factories for putting on this event, or even for minimal, go thank Vitacell Biologics and say, thank you for sponsoring the Monster Factory.
Really appreciate it.
I'm in. Ready, bang. Best wishes and blessings for Michael and Rebecca, the Medal 365, one of the best voices in the business. Excited for Monster's comeback. Gennadi's toilet beard.
Hey, guys, so that's the thing. The comeback for me is, I appreciate everyone. I appreciate all the support. Seriously, guys, I get a lot of it is because I've hit a lot of users from my channel. So I really only see a lot of the positive shit now, because I block the negative shit because I don't want it in my life. But
we have a atmosphere of healing here
right
at
now.
this house.
Seriously,
so we've cut out the toxicity,
physically, as much as that is possible. And I'm saying all that to say, I appreciate everyone who's on my side, who's excited, who wants to help, who wants to give me. I appreciate it all. But I'm just going to be transparent. This comeback's for me.
Yeah.
I'm doing this for me. I'm doing it because it means something to me, right? So where I end up is where I end up. I'm not going to tell you where it's going to be. I'm not going to tell you if it's going to be middle of the pack, if it's going to be top of Mount Everest. I have no idea. All I know is I won't quit, and I'll keep working. So, but yeah.
I do have to apologize, because guys watching, I do actually have a message yesterday from Michael saying, confirmed, I'm actually pulling Levan and Dennis at the same time for my comeback match. These guys are bitches. So don't even listen to this Michael middle of the pack, rah. He's going straight to the top, 2-on-1, double entendre. I've got the message. Maybe or maybe not.
I did forget that I said that. No, yeah, I mean, that's the thing, dude. I want there's so many matches that I want to have that are meaningful to me. I don't know what the landscape of arm wrestling is going to look like in 8 to 12 months, when I may be able to compete again, or 16 months. Who knows? I do have a plan, not one that I'm willing to share, but I do have a plan of how I would like to see things go. And if the healing goes as planned, the training goes as planned, I am very optimistic about my return. So that's it.
I don't even know the plan. I genuinely don't. Everyone watching, I genuinely don't know the plan. I know the other plan, but I don't know the plan for his comeback. Spermies, he's been a member for 6 months. He goes, do you know when your anticipated match would be? Will that focus? Doesn't come up on StreamYard. I hate that.
I want it to be sooner than Rebecca wants it to be. I'll tell you that. I would like my first right-handed match to be before the end of the year. She would like for me to wait until the first match. But that also it all depends. And I told her, I was like, listen, we're not going to make any decisions right now. Let's see where I'm at. Because I don't even I go back to the doctor June 1st to even be released to start training. You know what I mean? So it will be end of July, middle of August before I'm even able to give an assessment of where I potentially could be. You know what I mean? Much less have any act like I'm cracking her wrist back by the end of July. That's happening. You know what I'm saying? You know,
well, you better be digging in that Ross bucket because
I'm gonna mess this one up. But yeah, that's how that goes. I would like it to be. I would like it to be by the end of the year.
Yeah.
And then if that happens, I would like another step up match first of the year. And then I would like that to keep going every 2 to 3 months. You know what I mean? That's my vision.
it's always good to have.
I never
goals,
know
dear.
if that's how it's going to play out.
I've just got a message from Rebecca. Jake, do you know any good marriage counselors? It's like,
Listen, we've already decided it's way too expensive to end this. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
In Arkansas, it's a mother. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. We're in this.
That's one of the best sayings. Too expensive to end this. That's so good. Andy Beckett's been a member, and he says, good luck on your event on the weekend, Andy Beckett. Thank you very much. Silky Wilkie, I'll just double check because for some reason, you guys know with streaming services, you don't get those member super chats pop up on your feed, so we can't do that. But Silky Wilkie says, before you air the Monster Factory, do you do a mock run with all the cameras, mics, and transitions? Will you be streamlining the next event's proceedings as you have learned from the first one's contingencies for hiccups, etc.?
Yes. You want me to?
Go ahead.
Yeah. Rob Kelly, I think, is on here. Rob is actually doing our streaming. And that is why we do Friday night preliminary matches and weigh-ins. Okay. So I don't know if all of you guys know, there are 2 matches on Friday night before the big event on Saturday.
There were 3.
There were 3.
We haven't announced that yet.
We haven't announced that yet.
We just announced there's okay, so I'm
Surprise!
going to tell the story. You want to finish? You want to tell?
Yeah, let me finish
Go
first.
ahead, finish, so
Rob will be here. He's going to actually get into Hot Springs Thursday night, Friday morning. He's going to come over and start setting up. We spend Friday most of the day making sure that we like how mics and video and all of that is set up. And then there will be a live Friday night where we'll have weigh-ins and we'll have 2 preliminary matches. We're also going to have a Q&A with the athletes. And that is really all about a dress rehearsal. So that whole situation is making sure sound is good, video is good, that things are working well. Now, that doesn't mean that there still can't be things happen on Saturday. We're watching the weather.
Yeah, prior to what the forecast.
That's live TV.
It was looking horrible for weather.
Yeah.
I was like, oh shit, we may just have to record this thing and
because
premiere
here
it
in
later
Arkansas, and it is Arkansas.
Arkansas.
Right.
Arkansas. Thank you, Rebecca. Arkansas.
Don't you say that. You can say I'm Arkansas-y, but this is Arkansas that I live in. Okay. But anyways, a good thunderstorm that causes a power outage could knock everything out, right?
Yeah, right.
Which is another reason why it's a relief to me that it's free to you guys. So if it goes out, we're going to continue videoing and we'll upload it just as soon as possible. It might be under candlelight, but it'll be there. Okay. So,
I do not have any generators on site, so if it goes out, it goes out.
A great idea to make you guys look even better. If, and touch wood, nothing goes wrong. But if something goes wrong, I'm going to send you a message saying I demand a refund. And I want you to send me something like a $0 receipt or like a $0 transaction on PayPal and go receipt for Monster Factory 4. And I'll be like, see guys, look how good the monsters are. They gave me a refund for Monster Factory 4. How good are those guys?
There you go.
Forbidden Props. Is he back on board this time? Forbidden Props? He made the battle like last time.
The axes are en route. Which I love the axes. So there'll be an integration for him as well, obviously, because he's the one providing the amazing awards. Super excited about seeing those things because he's done a spectacular job. But to go ahead and give you insight on why there's 2 matches instead of 3, I get a call from Daniel Worley the other day. And he's like, "Hey, dude,
Daniel, there's always something."
He's like, "Bro, I thought I booked my flight for Thursday night to get in at 11 o'clock. I just looked at it, and it's a Friday night, 11 o'clock arrival." I'm like, "Yeah, that's unfortunate because you're supposed to arm wrestle at 5:30 Friday night." You know what I'm saying? And he doesn't even get to Little Rock till 11 something. You know, I'm like, "Well, looks like we're gonna push it to Saturday." So now we just have the right-handed match of Stephen Logston and John Therian, and then Ben LeClaire versus Matt Satori, along with weigh-ins because there's several titles on the line, and we'll have to have weigh-ins for those guys.
Yeah. Do you have 2 scales for Ben LeClaire? I finally saw footage of Ben, and he's massive.
Huge. But yeah, he doesn't have to weigh in. He's
Can he do it just because if he's comfortable with it?
I guess I could. I have 2 scales, but not 2 accurate scales.
Our scales weigh 450 pounds, babe.
He may not make it. You know what I'm saying? Like,
is he bigger than Corey?
He's 6'8".
Holy mother, he's huge.
Yeah.
Oh wait, I saw him.
There'll be 800 pounds on that table between him and Massatori. You know. So I don't know what Ben weighs. He might be 420, might be 440, but I think Matt's 6'4", 380. You know, so there's 800 pounds on that in that match, that left-handed match.
That is ridiculous.
Couple of big boys for sure.
You're a big inspiration to Isaac Monster. Says you're a big inspiration to me. You always keep moving forward no matter what. So
I appreciate that, and I'm just in complete transparency as always. I don't know anything else. I literally have no middle ground. It is black and white in my life. You know, I am all in or I'm all out. So you either get this version of me or you get the guy who's 600-pound bedridden on just not doing shit. There is no in between. This is it. Like, the only thing I know to do is head down, move forward. I don't know anything else. You know, so that's how I approach everything. You know what I mean? Like, I get bad news. I sulk for a minute and then it's head down, back to work. You know, I don't know. I don't know anything else, you know. But I'm telling you, I'm still the guy who is 1 meal away from never eating right again, 1 workout away from never working out again, and 1 bad day away from selling all this shit in single wide miss loads. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm out. You know what I mean? Like, it's
you could have a career when the career's done, or your next adventure is it's just simple. Mrs. Monster reacts. That's your new viral thing. Because when you got her in the drift car?
That was one of the
how's that video?
And you're doing
viral?
These
That's
ones.
Hilarious.
That was one of the most horrible days of my life. Okay, that was awful. I am not an adrenaline junkie, and that was terrible.
And then there was the big giant post. We didn't get the reaction, but the big giant post of how you are never driving that RV again. Never.
Terrible.
Listen, so dude, the story is we were on our way to Bowling Green, and she had drove very well in the previous trip that we'd done.
Fine.
Very good. And then so we're on this one, and we get through. I think it's around Louisville area probably, and there's a lot of construction, and we switch places, and there's concrete barriers on one side. There's a big drop off on the other. When I say big, it's a 6 to 8 inch asphalt drop off. And she got really freaked out. And I'm over there in the passenger seat, scrolling my phone, and then we go off the road.
I was
and
terrified.
This thing starts to, like, I know the car behind us, like, they got the camera, I think we're about to flip. She gets it back on the road.
It was at least 5 times it almost flipped.
A half a dozen times we go off the road. And this takes about 45 seconds to correct.
So it wasn't just a few seconds.
So she's over there thinking we're all going to die. Our dogs are going to die. She's the cause of it all. You know what I'm saying? But, I mean, it's just like she had no reason. It was just, I'm trying to talk her. I'm trying to calm her down. We're 60 miles an hour and we're doing this number off the road, back on the road, off the road. I mean, it's scary.
Bloody hell.
And then there's about a 2-mile drive once she gets back on the road that she slowed down to like 40.
And I was shaking so bad.
She's crying, she's shaking. I'm like, get us up. There's a rest area, pull over, you know. And after that, she was traumatized, you know, to the point to where we had agreed. I was in my sling, I went in my sling. I was going to get my thing taken off.
Mm-hmm.
I had my splint, right?
Splint.
I'm going to drive through the construction and traffic, and she's going to drive the freeways.
Mm.
Well, we get on I-40, and she's not doing good. Like it's an east to west trip, and that wind is it's 33-foot RV. It's got some, so she's not doing great. I'm like, honey, I will go ahead and take over. I'll get us south of Memphis, and then it's north to south. It won't be as windy. We let her take over again, and then that's when she's not happy at all. So she has never got behind the wheel again.
Out of the RV, I will drive my Buick.
Yeah, that's fine. The RV is just those two experience. That one experience about. I mean, it was.
You
bad.
enjoy me driving the Buick.
Oh yeah, yo, she's so funny, dude. I want to do a video. I want to do an entire channel that all we do is karaoke, because he was.
I jam out.
She was jamming so hard on this last trip there and back. We got Talk Dirty to Me from Poison. We got, Pour Some Sugar on Me, Sweet Child of Mine. We're killing it.
Yes, now we're talking. I want in on that channel. Absolutely.
Well, the thing about it is you can't monetize it. I mean, because you can't monetize so I don't know where the benefit is other than just putting out a video that is not monetized to bring more people to your channel to see the other stuff that you do, right? But because that's not a channel you can build. Yeah. Unless you had sponsors that, somehow you did an integration inside it. I don't even know if you can. Yeah, I don't know how that would work.
You can buy the rights to the songs, but obviously the more popular, the more.
Yeah, you could never do that. I mean, like, the poor, there's just, you can't do that. But that's the era that we grew up in, right? So, we're old, and that's the era that we grew up in. So that's the music that takes us back to our youth. And I'm telling you,
I have the best playlist.
She does have a good playlist.
That's very good.
I'm just saying, when I see her have that expression of joy from, that nostalgia, or when she sees something for the first time, those are the moments that give me pleasure and give me joy, right? So living a life where she just gets to do karaoke with 80s rock would be great, because she would always be happy, But yeah, so that would be something. What we do have that we've talked about. After that trip, I've decided I will have to have that there. There will have to be a karaoke spot. You know what I mean? If for nothing else, just entertainment, just for us. Like, nobody else is here, and it's just us. You know what I mean?
How are we talking about this and not Monster Factory 4?
Because
we're gonna go. We'll get into all the comments. Agent of Chaos says, "Listen to your wife, Michael. Some sound advice." Brad Cook, love Brad Cook. Love his channel 217. Love everything about this guy. Killing it. Really,
Brad Cook is going to be here taking pictures, part of our media package. So that's something that we have thought about in future Monster Factory events, given like a couple of media passes for folks to come here and do some videos and do some, photos of the athletes and stuff while they're pulling. It's good for their portfolios, but also it's good promotion, for Monster Factory events.
Absolutely.
So, yes. And he does excellent work.
Oh, some of the best. Silky Wilkie says you actually might incur a fee to send a refund transactions of 0, so I wouldn't try it, Jake. I'd make sure I'd pay them back. It would be in there. Right. Jordan Davis in the chat says it's monster time. Right. I am way behind the comments, guys, so I do apologize. I'm going to skip all the way to the end because we need to get through the Monster Factory. And that's why we're here. Everyone's in here, including Buddy Hale says everyone, Mrs. Rebecca. And I do love a lot of the times, everyone's very polite and they call you Mrs. Rebecca or Mrs. Monster. I find that, I don't know, I grew up and it was always Mr. or Mrs., usually Mrs. or Miss, until you said, just call me Rebecca. Just call me. So I'm always like, oh, Miss Monster. Oh, no, it's Rebecca. Cool. No worries. And so, I don't know, something weird about that I do enjoy. Whenever
I like that people are respectful too. But those that have been around me know that I pretty much end up being everybody's mama. So call me Mama Rebecca too. It's just fine. Yeah.
But we're getting there. It's going to be a great event. 5 p.m. Central Standard Time, which is for Australian time. That is 8 a.m. for sure.
Oh, that's awesome.
Okay, what's everyone saying in the chat? Not a problem. Okay, cool, because we've got heaps of people in there. Now, well, in 30 seconds or less, because I know I've taken way more of your time than I should. In 30 seconds or less, We'll go through each of the matches because I know a lot of the athletes are in the chat wanting to hear both of your opinions on all of these matches. So we've got Chocolate Thunder. It's a very sweet nickname. I do like it. Taking on the big Rush Schrader on a left arm matchup. What do we think about this, guys? Oh, they've gone.
I thought I was on Do Not Disturb.
Sorry, guys.
Calling back just a minute. That's our Vitacell Biologics calling us up. Maybe some good stuff coming there. It's on Do Not Disturb. Must have called twice.
Okay.
Rush Schrader versus Jody Williams. It's a match they both want, right? I've heard from some people that they thought that Russ was the favorite. All I know is both these guys want this match. Both these guys are hungry for this match. Both these guys have asked for this match. So I don't have a clear favorite in my mind. I just think both of them are bringing their very best version. So I'm excited to see it,
Yeah, I quite like it. We did a prediction show during the week. Oh, Rebecca was in the chat, that one. So thank you for that. Yeah, we had predictions. John went Jody, so I went the big Russinator. So that's a good one. Then we've got both arms here that we briefly spoke about from John the Savage versus the Son of Steel. There we go. I quite like this one. I haven't seen much of Steve. You got everyone saying don't sleep on him. You guys mentioned him before. I've obviously seen more data of John, so I'm leaning towards John. But yeah, I can't wait.
Yeah, and the fact that they're going left arm Saturday and right arm Friday, I mean, they could go 1-1. One of them could sweep the. I mean, who knows? I don't know. I think and that's the thing about this. I think we have a lot of matches that could go either way. You know what I mean? I think they go either way. So that's exciting to me. This is one, as you know, I'm not competing at. The only one I haven't competed at.
Yes.
So I really just get to sit back, commentate with Jason, and just enjoy the show. So there is zero stress for me. I mean, like I'm just going to sit back and chill and be a fan, right? So that's exciting.
But I'm seeing John's name pop up like at a lot of events right now. He's pulling everywhere, it looks like. And Stephen Logston, he's got a really good pedigree for arm wrestling.
Yeah, his dad Bill's pretty good.
His dad, Game of Arms, guys, if you do not know, his dad. And I got to tell you, so I've been doing the Meet the Athletes.
Yes, they've been great.
Right. And Stephen Logston, when I was reading what he wrote, he was just so grateful for being able to come here and compete. But what he wants to do, and I'm not going to get teary, is he just wants to make his dad proud and following his dad's footsteps. And
that's awesome.
So
yeah.
I'm really excited to see him pull here. And one of the things, I know you only wanted 30 seconds, but one of the things that really excites me about Monster Factory cards is I don't mind if people use us as a stepping stone. And I'm hoping that every athlete that is seen at the Monster Factory then goes on to do other things, whether it's East versus West or Arm Wars, which we're seeing our athletes pop up at a lot, or whatever is out there. It's really exciting to me to see that happen.
But they're always going to come. Well, if they're smart and respectful. Like obviously, the first name that comes to mind is Dustin Hyatt.
Yes.
No one had heard of him. Dominated Monster Factory. Now he's everywhere.
Yes.
Pulling. Just came back from his second trip of Arm Wars. So it's brilliant because now, over the time, Dustin, I haven't met Dustin or spoken to Dustin, but he seems like a very respectful young man. So, when you guys, hey, you want to come back to the Monster Factory or things like that, he'll have nothing but good things to say about the Monster Factory.
No,
and then when he's a big megastar, you can get him on the cheap. You can get him on the cheap when he's a big megastar. You don't need to be in 10 grand everywhere, Dusty. Well, just remember who launched your pad. We'll give you $100 and a couple of sausage rolls. Get back here. But no, it's brilliant. It is. I wouldn't call it a stepping stone. I like that you are creating stars. I like you are giving opportunities. Everyone's screaming for a super match format in North America. We're getting it here. I haven't watched a bad Monster Factory yet, and I don't think I will. So yeah, they're great, and including these two going at it both hands. And this is just the undercard. No one likes Bob Brown, so Austin Wade wins that one. No.
Honestly, so Bob has posted quite a bit about how thankful he is that Austin is so good because it's scared Bob and it's made him train really hard. So to me, that's an exciting match. I mean, you got Bob, who is been around forever, as long as I have, and you got Austin, who's this new breed, this up and comer, who's relentless and explosive, and basically everything that's bad for Bob. You know what I'm saying? Long levered inside puller. Bob's a pronating outside, open top row guy. So I think it's another potential grinder. So I'm excited about that.
And Bob's, I love you, Bob. I love you, Bob. But next time Australians come over, look after him. Actually, just quickly, Rhett Downard. I'm going to clip some footage together. He's about to go to Singapore and compete for the middleweight title. He's our back-to-back state champion. I think would be perfect for an undercard match. I'm going to send you some footage. I just wanted to get that out there. I love that kid, young fella there. But this one, I like this one. And somehow this is an undercard match. But this is awesome. I like this matchup.
I like it as well. Now, this match was originally going to be a left-handed Carl Stanley versus Jonathan Breida. Breida ended up having to do some work this weekend, so he couldn't make it. So then we found Sonny Gay had asked for a right-handed match. I said, hey, Carl's a beast right-handed as well. Let's get some super heavyweight action going. And both of these guys are hungry and excited and happy to be on the card. So I'm excited to have them as well.
Beautiful. I love it. Absolutely love it. And then we roll on for the next match, and it is
the
Gator Man.
Yeah, this is to me. Okay, so we saw this at the Arnold, and Mirtala was in control, right? Now that gave Devin some knowledge on where he needed to work, what he needed to do. But I've also seen a very motivated Mirtala in his workout videos and his training videos. So that's a big, exciting match. Mirtala, he's gotten some big wins in his career. He's beaten Trubin in the past. He's got some big wins, right? So this dude is no joke. He had he had some injuries he had to come back from. But yeah, dude, I'm excited to see that match. I think that's and having Mirtala here, he's another one of those guys that's just good as gold, very respectful, and always a pleasure having him involved in anything we do.
And the one reason I'm going for Devin, the one reason and one reason only, is because of his beef jerky.
Beef jerky, man. I'm telling you, I'm not a huge beef jerky eater. But of all the beef jerky I've eaten, I honestly think that's the best beef jerky we've ever had.
It's really good.
It's really good stuff.
I can't eat beef jerky in Australia anymore because Devin sent me, I think, a couple of each flavor. I was very honored. And I ate that stuff in 2 days. I thought, okay, thanks, mate. Awesome. Love your work. Great match against Don Underwood. And I had one and I was just like, I'm in a lot of trouble here. I'm in a lot of trouble.
No, it's good. It's really good. They've done a great job.
So let me tell you about Mirtala. So you guys were discussing how to, pronounce his name on your live the other day.
Yeah, we had a bit of fun with that. Arkansas. Yep.
Still not completely sure, but he does say here, Aslan is his nickname. So that's what he goes by, right? And it means lion. That's fitting. Looks like a bit like a lion.
Yeah, he's burly. All right, here we go. Let's keep going. I got to eat.
Then we're rolling into the main event. Now we're rolling to the main card, I should say. Sorry.
Yeah.
Tim Talmadge, Robbie Russell. I love Tim Talmadge. He's my guy. We've spent a bit of time together, so I'm all about Tim. But Robbie is just a stud.
Robbie is a stud. Tim asked for this match. A lot of people are telling me that Robbie's going to be too much for him. Tim seems to think otherwise. So I'm just giving him what he asked for. So. I'm excited about the match. Robbie is super respectful. He's always been someone we thought about having here. So having him and they're driving in, I think, in the Friday morning or Friday morning, I think. He's a good kid, looks strong, and Tim's gonna have his hands full. But Tim seems to think he's ready for it. So let's see what happens. I mean, I don't know I honestly have no clue what's gonna happen. But I think they're both, talented arm wrestlers, and I think we're going to have a good match.
And Tim is another fantastic arm wrestling promoter that's doing a lot of great things for arm wrestling.
He's doing really well.
So, really excited to have him here again.
Yeah, and just a great person in general.
So we did not do the Benjamin Leclerc story because we didn't talk because you didn't mention the preliminary, but Massatori and Benjamin Leclerc, I didn't see their pictures come up, so I'm talking about them.
Yeah, I couldn't find them.
Well, they're two huge individuals, 6'4", 380, I think, and 6'8", 420, 440, something like that. A couple of big old boys, left-handed match. those guys, I would say Matt is the favorite. He's the guy who I think is ranked higher. But Ben is he's like 20 something, 21, 22, young kid, massive human being. And he trains, he's real consistent with his training. So I honestly couldn't tell you what's going to happen. I think she's got the thing right now pulled up. I don't know if she's going to be able to send it or not. It doesn't matter. But yeah, you'll be able to see it once she sends it over to you. But yeah, dude, I'm excited. I think that's going to be a good match as well. But yeah, Tim and Robbie, I think it's going to be a great match. The rest of the main card, let's get to it because I think we have some stellar matches there.
Oh, yeah. I mean, kicking off with that one. And then as we roll on to the next matches, this one,
dude,
stop it.
I mean, that honestly could be a main event match right there. These two guys have history. Super strong guys, top of the food chain in North America at 210 pounds. Both very hungry, both got a point to prove. I think that's going to be a great match.
Oh, a great match indeed. Now, I just want to go, I don't like to go backwards. I can't do it as fancy as I want to, but look at it.
And it is Rocker. Brent has told us, and Michael then went on to say it wrong.
I say it wrong all the time.
He comes up before he gets announced for his last match here at the Monster Factory. He's like, it's Rocker. Like, I'm a hard rocker. Rockers.
I'm like, Brent Rackers.
That's exactly what he is.
Brent Rockers. My bad. But yeah, good dude. I've known Brent for a long time. It's so funny because people used to think that we were the same person because I was clean cut, pretty boy, both weighed the same. And they're like, they'd see it walk up behind us and, tap me on the shoulder, think I was Brent, or tap me on the shoulder, think he was me. We used to get that all the time back about 20 years ago.
Oh, I'm very excited to see Daniel Mosier back on the table as well. But there's the sorry to cut your head out, Michael, but so there's Matt Satori and Ben Leclerc right there. 800 pounds of pure muscle steel and sex appeal. This is ridiculous. Heavy.
He's looking at the table to see if it's going to hold up. She's like, do we have enough on there? We do have the big platform, so yeah, it's going to be fun.
Okay.
That'd be brilliant. So, guys, just give these guys a bit of a shout out. They'll be on the preliminaries the day before, as you can see there, at the same time. So that is going to be mega. Now, back to the main event card, which is going to be good. Thank you for sending me that, Rebecca. I can use that on the day. Oh, two dynamite.
These guys are grinders, right? Grinders.
Saw Eduardo Tiete in probably one of the most die-hard matches against Dallas Langston. Yeah. And
he was down 2-0 in Vegas at the Olympia and came back and won 3-2. Brutal puller. Multiple world champion titles at a lighter weight, but they're both these guys are coming in right at that 200-pound weight class, both super strong. Craig and I go all the way back to 1992. My first wrist wrestling event was in 1990. My first arm wrestling event was BJ's Country in Bossier City, Louisiana, and Craig Touye was there. And then we ran into each other 4 weeks later at our connection flight going into McLean, Virginia for the national championships. And we've been friends ever since. So Craig and I go way, way back. It's hard not to want to predict Craig, but, and Craig says he's feeling super strong. Eduardo is a grinder. He has got a ton of heart. So match of the night potentially could be these guys on the main card. They could definitely get that match of the night bonus.
The only way, if we now, I'm not trying to play favorites or anything, but I do think for order this to be match of the night, we need to build maybe a 2-inch barrier at the back of the pad for Craig Touye, so he can just stay on the damn table, so we're not calling elbow fouls, because this. I mean, what are we now? April. Not only has potential for match of the night, but I have got this as almost one of the matches of the year if Craig can stay on the table.
If Craig does have a tendency to elbow foul, if he can stay on the pad.
He didn't do cheap out at the last Monster Factory, did he?
Well,
I think he fouled it one match.
Yeah, well, then Ryan did send us a still shot of him being like 4 inches off the back of the pad that we missed. Remember, I asked for the replay, and they're like, I couldn't replay it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it doesn't matter. Yeah. Craig is a powerhouse.
Yes.
He's just a powerhouse, right? He did foul out, I think, against East versus West versus David. But yeah, I mean, we have Armore's rules. So, I mean, if you do come off the perimeter, it's a foul. Bobbles that don't gain advantage are runners, I think. I don't remember how everything goes. But, yeah, I mean, I think we're going to have a great match.
It's very simple.
I don't need it.
If it is
I don't care.
Straight
I gotta
up,
eat.
I'm telling you anyway, if it's straight up and down, no advantage gained, that is a running foul. If it comes off the front, side, or back, that is a match stopping foul.
Okay, so we call all fouls.
All fouls count.
Just some are runners and some are stoppages. All right, so let's go. We got Pablo and Artem. Yeah, I mean, Artem's like, he posted, so many people think I'm the underdog. I'm coming to prove a point. We'll see. Artem is impressive. He really is. I mean, if you look at him,
he's very smart on the table.
His frame has changed. He's carrying a lot more muscle than he has in a long, long time. And I think a lot of that is, I tell people all the time, 6 months or a year of dedicated training can change a person. And I think he just, he's taken this path of social media and arm wrestling as a career, and he's put everything into it. And I think he's a different person now than he used to be. Is that enough to beat Pablo? I'm going to say no, but I would not be surprised if he cracks his wrist and he puts him in a bind and can bleed him. He's tricky. I just think Pablo's a horsepower machine. So.
Yeah. And are you worried that this might alter your main event if Artem and Pablo really go to town and then Pablo's a little bit tired for the main event, or you're not bothered at all?
It's not my problem. You know what I'm saying? Like, I told you, I'm just spectating. Now Pablo was not concerned about it. Now, does it affect you? Yes. When you have a hard left-handed match prior to a right-handed match, it does affect you. So I feel like he's going to want to get Artem out of the way early if he's unable to do that. Now, I'm not saying it's going to affect the outcome because Ron Bath may end up being too much.
Yeah.
I think that also could be match of the night. That's a match right there. That's a crazy, crazy match. You know what I'm saying?
Well, we're not there yet.
I know. But so that Artem, Pablo, epic. This match, lightweight championship. So this was supposed to be at the previous Monster Factory. Roman was sick. His whole family was sick, couldn't make it. We ran a different match, and Dustin had a great performance there versus Corey Johnston. And I wanted this match back, and I felt like it was deserving of a championship lightweight Monster Factory title. So these guys are banging for the championship at 170.
Yeah, because it was supposed to be Monster Factory 3. It didn't happen, and I absolutely love it. And now that Dustin's, got a bit more notoriety, it's going to be good. I hope Dusty Rhodes wins it, but Roman Gromov is just an absolute stud.
Roman losing at the Arnold to Kevin Palco took a little bit of the steam off the excitement or the expectation.
Not the excitement,
the expectation of it being a blowout from Roman. A lot of people now are moving towards Dusty potentially being the favorite. Now, did Kevin have an amazing day and Roman had an off day? Or has Kevin leveled up that much that he could consistently beat Roman? We're going to find out a lot Saturday night where Roman's at, where Dustin's at. Dustin is young. He continuously gets better. If he doesn't win Friday night, or if he doesn't win Saturday night, I can't say he wouldn't be able to, not too far down the road. You know what I mean? The kid's impressive. Yeah,
it's going to be an absolute ripper. And then, of course, the main event. Thank you. Thank you very much. Then, there it is. There it is. Ron Bubble Bath taking on Pablo Debendiev. This match.
Yeah, man. This is a match that Ron has a winning record. Pablo has had the more impressive performances as of late. Ron did have an amazing match against Zverev, and then we know it was 5 weeks later so that Paul Lynn was able to beat him here at Monster Factory 1, I believe it was. Wasn't it Monster Factory 1 March? Yes, it was.
Yeah.
So a lot of people are gauging the fact that Pablo beat Paul beat Ron. Guys, it's been 13 months since Paul beat Ron. Now, that doesn't mean that Paul Lynn's not a bad dude. Paul Lynn is a bad dude. He's a reigning East versus West. What is it? What even weight class is that? Middleweight world champion, whatever it is. I think it's middleweight 209. I think that would be considered. I don't know what it's considered. Light heavyweight, middleweight. I think it's middleweight. But I think Ron Bass, since tearing his bicep here at the Monster Factory that practiced against Corey West and being married to Angie Rose, That dude trains harder than I ever trained. You know, they've been together for a while, but she lived in Canada. Since they've been married and she lives with him, she is religious about getting that man to the gym. You know what I mean? So he trains his hand, wrist, and forearm more than he's ever trained in his life.
And he's focused on recovery as well, training,
red light therapy, all kinds of stuff. I mean, he's doing it all. And he's. This is the first time I've seen Ron Bath take a very professional approach to his arm wrestling. Ron Bath used to just run a construction company and do construction all day and was just genetically gifted. This man has really taken a very professional approach. So will we see the best version of Ron Bath we've seen in a very long time? Quite possibly. Is that enough to beat Pablo? We're going to find out.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes, like, speaking of Angie, I know how much Angie is on top of Ron to the gym. Even so, I sometimes get scared because I've spoken to Angie and I'm like, can't be bothered going to the gym today. And then, like, have little things that, like, Angie might message me. Did I say that out loud that I'm not going to go to the gym? So then I go to the gym because of Angie. That's how intimidating she is. But guys, it is here. 5 p.m. Central Standard Time on the Friday and the Saturday. You get the prelims and the run-throughs. So don't be, when we all watch it live for the prelims, let's be constructive criticism if things aren't going well and things like that. Let's not just start attacking it. Everyone in the chat has been awesome. I've not seen one negative comment this whole stream, which has been brilliant. So that means that this weekend is just going to be genuinely mega. And guys, it's for free. It's for free. You scream that you don't want to pay all these pay-per-views. Well, now you're just getting that card for free. And all I'm asking, they're not even asking, all I'm asking, Vitacell Biologics, comment on one of their posts. Thank you so much for sponsoring the Monster Factory. Done. That's not hard.
Anytime you call in Vitacell, tell them Lost Rocket Todd sent you.
That's right. So there you go. Where'd it go? Vitacell Biologics.com. Send them an email. Send them whatever. But, if you're actually going to use their product, obviously tell them that the monster sent you. And if you're not going to use their product and you just want them to sponsor more Monster Factory so we don't have to pay for it, just go thank him. That's all. Am I asking too much, guys, to just go over and thank them? I think that's, free, really awesome event. Hey, guys, thank you.
Really appreciate that.
Yeah, man, they're good people, man. And they Rob, the owner, his son, Robbie, is an accomplished ArmWrestler national champion in his own right, accomplished powerlifter and everything else. And they're just good people, and what they're doing is great. I mean, I'm a firm believer in regenerative medicine, and I'm super excited about getting my next round of stem cells. I'm excited to see Rebecca get her first round, because it does help. Like it does help. So my belief is we have the technology, we have the ability, we have the access to live our best quality of life. Why are we not doing it? People spend money on so many frivolous things that don't improve their quality of life. Why not invest in yourself? So that's where I'm at with it. And to me, I mean, it's amazing. Even if you're not a competitive athlete, if you're just someone who's had injuries or you have some pain, give them a call because it helps.
There you go. From the man himself. Rebecca, are you sick of getting asked this question?
Yeah, it's never going to happen.
Well, let me tell you, the greatest person in the chat. You guys can cut this out as a short, put it out there with me saying never, ever, ever. It's not going to happen. And I'm going to tell you why. Jody wins. It's not any fun, guys. It is not any fun. Jody wins. Jody wins. Jody wins. Jody wins. Okay.
That is quite funny. Just quickly before we wrap up the show, Texas Piranha has been a member for a month. He says, ready, bang. Thank you very much, Texas Piranha. We're getting close to the 500 member mark and truly grateful. Buddy Hale's been a member for 3 months, and he says, what a weekend ahead. Thank you, Mrs. Rebecca and Michael.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, appreciate it.
And all focus there. And the Drew 24 has been a member for 2 months, and he says, arm wrestling is the addiction we all need. if it's in there. Look, I mean, anyone who subscribed to my channel is clearly subscribed to your channel, but if you're not, look how much fun they are. Go check out Mrs. Monster Todd's channel as well. That was dropped in the link earlier. We'll put it in.
Yeah, we need some love over there. We need some love.
Well, they probably would like it if I would post over there.
I need her to be my sugar mama. She needs to be the one making all the money here. She needs a bigger platform. Let's go make her huge, and then I can just sit back and
that doesn't work unless I put videos over there.
Oh shit! Oh yeah. My bad.
But it is there. Guys, thank you so much for your time. Please do everything you can to support the event this weekend. And also, they've already got 2 dates for the rest of the year for Monster Factory 5 and 6. So we should just be grateful of this golden age of arm wrestling. And not only Michael's quest for 100 and trying to get back to the top, but running super awesome world-class events.
The link is already up for the Saturday event. The Friday link I will actually drop Friday morning.
Description.
Okay, excellent. So the Friday link for the preliminaries, weigh-ins, and the Q&A, Athlete Live Q&A, I will actually drop that Friday morning, stick it in our community tab. So be sure that you have subscribed and click that bell for notifications so you get notified when we are going live and when we drop live links.
There it is. And I've just pinned Mrs. Monster Michael Todd's channel to the top of the comments. So when people come in, it is right there, and I'll drop that in the description as well. Go give that some love there. Thank you very much, guys. Thank you, everyone that has joined us. We will see you all at the Monster Factory this weekend. And a quick shout out, good luck to Tyson Bagent in the NFL draft.
Dude, that is so awesome. So awesome. I mean,
wait to see how that goes.
Yeah, I'm excited for him. I'm excited for Travis. I mean, that's just an amazing story. But if you watch the little link that they had the other day, you know, Tyson said what Travis's expectations were of his children since they came from him.
Oh, it was the best, wasn't it?
Like, that's Travis. But honestly, think about it. Look at Casey. Look at Travis. Of course, they're going to create super babies. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, seriously, it only makes sense, right? So yeah, super impressed with that young man. I've known him since he was, you know, that big, and so awesome. Yes, I'm very excited to see how that plays out.
And if I can get links on my computer to watch the NFL draft, I'll probably go live so we can all hopefully celebrate it together if it doesn't roll over in the Monster Factory time. So keep an eye out for that.
All right.
Alrighty, guys, we're out of here. Thank you all so much. We'll see these monsters on the weekend.